If you're a parent and you have caused a relationship rupture by losing your shit, say yelling at your kids, I'm gonna teach you, after you regulate yourself, how to help regulate them and repair the rupture. Remember, relationships are not about perfection. Natural cycle is rupture and repair. And the only way to build trust after a rupture is 1, to repair correctly, 2, which builds trust, so 3, you can learn. That's the only way to actually grow your attachment and your bond with your child. So you just yelled at your kid, you have self-compassion, you put the behavior in context, you understand your unmet needs, because all unwanted behavior comes from unmet needs. You sat with your emotions, you named them, you tamed them, you feel calm, you feel regulated. And now what you want to do is reconnect and actually have the capability, because you held space for yourself, talk to yourself with compassion and love. And now you feel loved and you accept yourself, even though your behavior is not ideal. You know that you are not your behavior and you have learned from the situation for yourself. Now it's time to repair the rupture with your kids. It's really simple, guys. This is kind of putting your oxygen mask on first for yourself, and now you can do this exact same thing with your kids. Only difference that it's just regular compassion. It's just regular compassion. Compassion literally means to suffer with. So you're calm, you're regulated, you haven't taken your own behavior personally. You know the circumstances which led to your overwhelm, your frustration, your disappointment, etc. And now you're gonna sit with your kids and say, hey guys, mom just kind of lost it. Mom is okay. She took care of herself. That had nothing to do with you. It had to, we need to talk about how to improve some things around here, but it had nothing to do with you. You're not coming from a defensive place. You're not like coming from an empty cup where you haven't given yourself a break, because your kids, their job is not to give you a break. Their job is not to meet your emotional needs. Their job is to worry about themselves, because they don't know how to do this. They're gonna learn by you modeling it for them, and then by the way you treat them when you're upset with them. And then 3, the way that you treat them and their friends when they're sharing their conflicts with you. Empathy never goes bottom up. It never goes bottom up. Kids already feel badly that they misbehave or when they make mistakes, and they inherently feel responsible for you emotionally. And detaching is so important in this phase, no matter how old they are. 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old. Mom lost her shit. Mom, I took care of myself. That had nothing to do with you. I love you. Let's talk about it. What we know about trauma, what we know about stuckness and children that do not emotionally develop, silence and not acknowledging the rupture is what leads to no repair, which leads to broken trust in the relationship and dysfunction and anxiety. That's what we know. So when you rupture, you need to repair. That is the first step, and you need to do it in the moment. You need to do it. You can't do it days later. I mean, you can if it takes you a long time to learn this process, and that's okay. But you need to be able to hold space for your kids and hold space for all of their stuff. They say, mommy, are you okay? Say, yeah, mom's good. Mom took care of herself. That is mommy's job. I love you so much. You're such a compassionate kid. You need to remember, mommy is okay. You're not responsible for mommy. I left the situation and I want to come back and I want to talk about the environment, because it's not really working right now. We need to change some things, and I do want to hear your input. First of all, let's talk about, notice mommy getting upset, right? You did? Yeah. That's mommy's responsibility too. But you're so empathetic to notice. If they are acting unruly, if their behavior is something that triggered you, and again, you did a great job because you removed yourself, you sat with it, and you remembered that their behavior has nothing to do with you personally. It has to do with them being kids, and your job as their parent is to model how to handle yourself, but it's also to create an environment that is conducive for needs getting met, desires getting met, a family environment where there is connection and love and conflict resolution. Maybe you have a couple kids and they were fighting or something. You need to separate them and talk to them. They have individual experiences. They are not the same. What they're gonna do is say sorry to each other because they upset you, or they're gonna rebel against that and be more unruly. The thing to do is to sit them down and to talk to them about it. Tell me what you were feeling in that moment. You yelled, you hate your brother. Tell me what you were feeling in that moment. I'm here. I want to listen. I want to learn, and I want to understand. And then depending on their age, they're probably not going to know. And so it's like, was it because of this and this? Like, give them options, multiple choice. No essay questions here, unless they're 15. Younger kids, no essay questions, multiple choice. It goes to short answer. Then it goes to essay, right? You're building an understanding of these things. What were you feeling in that moment? Were you upset? Were you scared? You know, when mommy gets upset, it would totally make sense if you were scared. It would totally make sense. And so when you're scared, do you need space? Do you need a hug? Can I give you a hug? Because I did not handle that well. That's not on you again. But do you need a hug? Yeah? Okay. Do you need space? So it's talking to them, collaborating, respecting them, having a conversation. And then it's like, well, what do you want for the rest of the day? It's what mom wants, and I want to collaborate with you about it. I want to think of win-win solutions for our family today. And, you know, maybe just for the next couple hours, we need to talk about that. What do you want for the rest of the day? And then when you are finally getting there, you're like, okay, you hit your brother. It sounds like this all was going on for you. Is that right? You were upset, you were scared. You could maybe see that mommy was getting upset. And so you kind of acted out. That's very normal. Here's another option of what to do next time. You're not like harping on the behavior because they're gonna feel shame about that. They already do feel shame about it, especially because you got upset. And kids are cause and effect. They're black or white. They're black or white until they're in their 20s. They're black or white. They think in cause and effect. I did this, so mommy was upset. They don't know that you've got triggers, you've got all this stuff. Your job is to put your oxygen mask on first, self-compassion, and then it's to suffer with your kids, to hold space like, yeah, mommy loves you so much and you're right, that behavior is not gonna work. Mommy's trying to learn from the situation, but I wanna hear from you too. Talk to me. I care about how you feel. I care about your experience. That rebuilds trust. And when you learn from the situation, you learn your kid and you're like, okay, they tend to hit when this happens. How can I create an environment that is more conducive to them meeting their needs, to them expressing their emotions and their desires before this unwanted behavior comes out because I've totally missed their experience beforehand. It's not because I'm a bad mom. That's just because I'm not aware of this stuff. I didn't learn this stuff, but I can today and I can in the next couple hours. Relationship repair is what builds trust and what will build the foundation for having a great relationship with your kids when they're older. That's what it is. It's building trust because you're an adult, you respect them and you dignify their experience as human beings instead of dismissing it because of your own shame. You think they won't remember. Parenting is day to day. It's moment to moment. It's regulating yourself. It's forecasting your own emotional weather. It's forecasting their weather because they're kids. Part of detachment, the best thing you can do as a parent is help them detach from you because the attachment's inherent. You want to help build detachment so that you can connect. Those are the 3 stages: attachment, detachment, connection. Attachment, notice what they're feeling, have compassion for it. Detachment, reflect it back to them. And then connection, collaborate with them on creating an environment that works for everyone. Because remember, you're the leader. You're the leader. You got this.